Life in a concentration camp tore open the human soul and exposed its depths. The truth, that love is the ultimate, and the highest goal to which man can aspire. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was duty. I worked, and behold, duty was joy. Love is the only way to grasp another human being in the innermost core of his personality. When man can't find meaning in his life, he distracts himself with pleasure. Don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you are going to miss it. Suffering is intended to guard man from apathy, from psychic rigor mortis. Man's main concern is not to gain pleasure or to avoid pain, but rather to see a meaning in his life. Life is not something, it is the opportunity for something. I do not forget any good deed done to me, and I do not carry a grudge for a bad one. A human being should never become a means to an end. Life requires of man spiritual elasticity, so that he may temper his efforts to the chances that are offered. Suffering in and of itself is meaningless. We give our suffering meaning by the way in which we respond to it. Every age has its own collective neurosis, and every age needs its own psychotherapy to cope with it. The most painful part of beatings is the insult which they imply. The truth, that love is the ultimate and the highest goal to which man can aspire. The point is never what we may expect from life, but rather what life expects from us. Every therapy must in some way, no matter how restricted, also be logotherapy. Indeed, one cannot earn love. Love is not a reward, but a blessing. It isn't the past which holds us back, it's the future, and how we undermine it today. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. If there is meaning in life at all, then there must be meaning in suffering. I do not forget any good deed done to me, and I do not carry a grudge for a bad one. It is not freedom from conditions, but it is freedom to take a stand toward the conditions. For the world is in a bad state, but everything will become still worse unless each of us does his best. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. Human kindness can be found in all groups, even those which as a whole, it would be easy to condemn. Since Auschwitz we know what man is capable of, and since Hiroshima we know what is at stake. The point is not what we expect from life, but rather what life expects from us. Love is the only way to grasp another human being in the innermost core of his personality. Woe to him who saw no more sense in his life. No aim, no purpose, and therefore no point in carrying on. No one has the right to do wrong, even if wrong has been done to them. A man who could not see the end of his provisional existence was not able to aim at an ultimate goal in life. Each of us has his own inner concentration camp. We must deal with forgiveness and patience as full human beings, as we are and what we will become. Life is like being at the dentist. You always think that the worst is still to come, and yet it is over already. It did not really matter what we expected from life, but rather what life expected from us. I called to the Lord from my narrow prison, and He answered me in the freedom of space. No one can become fully aware of the very essence of another human being unless he loves him. They died less from lack of food or medicine than from lack of hope, lack of something to live for.